Hi, Charles Cherney, and I want to have you meet me today in Harvard Square. I'm making this recording in May 2024, and we're looking here at Harvard Square on the map. As you can see, it's neighboring on Harvard Yard and just a few blocks from the Charles River. Many people think of Harvard Square and Harvard Yard as the heart of Cambridge. It is located in the center of the city, and it is the destination that draws the most visitors who come to Cambridge. So let's take a walk together in the spring of 2024 in Harvard Square. Here I am outside the Compass real estate office where I work, and it's wonderful that my business partner, Maggie D, and I can meet our buyer and seller clients here. It's just special to have one's office in Harvard Square. There's always a sense of arrival upon coming to Harvard Square. Seems there's always something happening. It's a place people are coming to, and it's filled with students and visitors. It's just a special place, and it's nice that our real estate office is located here. Just outside our office door, across the street, there's just this wonderful architecture on our doorstep. Branford Hall pictured on the right, and the Old Cambridge Baptist Church seen here on the left. And the wonderful architecture that is found in Harvard Square and includes many wonderful buildings at Harvard University make the experience of being in the square extra special. Just down the street from our office on Arrow Street is a new cafe, Faro, that opened in the last several years. And as you can see in season, they have outdoor seating. Anytime I've gone in, it's been busy. They do a brisk business, and it's an inviting space. I'm just so glad it's here, especially as Cafe Pamplona on Bow Street around the corner closed after being a mainstay for decades. So it's nice to see a new cafe pop up that appears to have regulars, myself included, that I hope means it'll have a long run. It's a real nice addition to Harvard Square. Harvard Bookstore has been a mainstay in the square since 1932, and it's on Massachusetts Avenue as you make your way into the heart of the square. It's hard for me to walk by without going in. And when I do go in, it's hard for me to leave without having purchased a book. It's just such a great bookstore, friendly staff, good selection, and not to be missed. Recently, when I was in that bookstore, I picked up Harvard Square, A Love Story by Catherine Turco, a local resident. And it's a wonderful history of Harvard Square over the years. So if you love Harvard Square and history, this book is meant for you, and I hope you'll join me in reading it. It's just a great history, and it's really fascinating to meditate on how Harvard Square has changed over time. Unfortunately, on this day in May that I made my walk through Harvard Square, the yard was closed, open only to students with Harvard IDs. And, it's just not the same if you're in Harvard Square and cannot visit as well Harvard Yard. I've taken this photo on the right when the yard was otherwise open to visitors. And it's a special place. It is a place apart. There's a sense of stillness in the yard that's almost sacred. And you can see here some of the many Harvard freshman dormitories that define the heart of the yard. So hopefully it'll reopen soon, and it'll be that visitors to Harvard Square can also visit Harvard Yard. Here is the heart of Harvard Square, and we're looking here at the pit, the place people are sitting at these pastel covered tabletops. And it's hard for me to get my head around the fact that this pit, as it's known or was known, and once was home to, the rougher side, if you will, and alternative lifestyle advocates. And, it was a rough and tumble crowd that was gathering here for many a year. And now look at it. It's a place for visitors to sit down. And so, clearly it is a sign of the square in transition. So we'll see how over time this plays out. But for the moment, there are tables and chairs in what was once the pit. There is an information kiosk, and it's where student-led tours of Harvard begin. You can see the steps behind that lead down to the subway station with Red Line service to Boston. And then the out-of-town news kiosk closed before the pandemic, and it's under renovation by the city to reopen as an information center. I believe it was to have been completed by now, so it's clearly taking longer than expected. Certainly, it will be nice to see the storm fencing come down and the out-of-town news information kiosk open. I'm sure they'll have events. It'll just give a little more of a complete feeling to the heart of Harvard Square when this reopens. Joe's Pizza has arrived. at the main intersection where Brattle Street and JFK Street meet, and it's out of New York. I've been in a couple times for a slice. Gets the job done. It'll be interesting to see how long it's going to be here. A number of establishments have been in this place or space over the last so many years. I took this photo because it sort of represents the tension in Harvard Square between some national chains like Ray-Ban and some local one-of-a-kind, unique outposts like Rebecca Brooks Jewelry. So, obviously it's great to see the local establishments flourish, and it would be great to see more. And yet many have gone away. This is Dixon Brothers, or was Dixon Brothers. It's hard for me to get my head around the fact that it's not there. It was there forever. And I can remember as a Harvard student going in here all the time for this, that, and the other thing. And even since, it was a mainstay for me to get things that you get at a hardware store. And it's just hard to sort of understand that is gone. But things happen. Nothing lasts forever. And so we'll see what goes in this space. You can see a number of retail space for lease signs. And what ends up happening in these spaces remains to be seen. But there are still empty storefronts. It'll be interesting to see what comes next in the next chapter of Harvard Square's ever-changing life history. There are, of course, still some mainstays in place, including Toscano, an Italian restaurant, and love that they can open in season the window glass to make those dining in the restaurant feel as if they're outside. I'm already excited to go here later this week with my family. Neighboring on Toscano is Brattle Square Florist. It's been around since 1917. And they recently relocated to this location, a smaller space, after closing up in the heart of Harvard Square. It's nice that they're still around. It's such a friendly group that run this shop, and I hope you'll join me in supporting them if you're looking for a bouquet. Rodney's Bookstore has emerged on Church Street in the space formerly occupied by Raven Used Bookstore. And it's nice to see Rodney's return. They had been in a larger space in Central Square for many years. So this bookstore is a new addition to Harvard Square on Church Street. There's been quite a bit of construction ongoing in Harvard Square. I stepped down Brattle just out of the heart of the square to the Longfellow House, and sure enough, it's covered in scaffolding. The Longfellow House is owned by the National Park Service, so I'm sure when this renovation is complete, it'll be magical and even more inviting to visit this wonderful residence just outside of Harvard Square. In the heart of Harvard Square itself, Harvard University is busy. They have been now for a number of years renovating houses. Right now, they're working on Adams House, as you can see here. And here's another shot around the corner. Busy. They've also been renovating the Harvard Lampoon and other buildings in Harvard Square. So lots of construction in Harvard Square at the present time. Here I am in Harvard Square and just exploring on foot, and I encourage you to do the same. It's an interesting place. There's always a lot happening. There's people watching, restaurants to explore, shops to discover, the university life to take in. It's a mix. There's always something to behold, to take in, to discover, and it's an ever-changing place, so it never gets old to explore Harvard Square. My name is Charles Cherney, and I welcome the opportunity to connect with you as you give thought to buying the right home or selling for the best price. And reach out at any time by text, telephone, or email if you wish to connect. I welcome the opportunity to meet with you in my office in Harvard Square and to be of service to you. If you're looking to make Cambridge your home, be in touch. Take care.